Steven, now that Elon Musk owns Twitter, should we be doing this show with just a fat doobie?
Like a blunt?
Yeah. Didn't he smoke a blunt on, what was it, Rogan show or whatever?
He took a little puff of a blunt. Yeah.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. It was very overblown. Like the way that, because the picture,
Oh,
great
literally.
photo. Great photo. Because it's like,
Yeah.
but it was very tiny puff, very overrated. I was excited to see it. It's like, oh my God, Elon Musk smoking a blunt. Yeah. Yeah. Not,
Yeah.
not, not very exciting.
Yeah. I don't really care. I think Twitter's a terrible place to begin with, so this news means nothing to me. Anyway, just your opinion, man. Stephen Langford, Derek Papa. We're talking about the draft today. We will talk a little bit about the Warriors, but we are an hour and 20 minutes away from tip-off, so we will talk a little bit about that. But Stephen, how you feeling, man? Draft a day away. Are you feeling excited? You got a little wiggle for it, or nah?
No, I got zero wiggle for it. I feel like
I know,
nobody has any wiggle for it.
because this might be the worst draft we've had in years. I'll be completely honest.
Really?
I love football, and everyone I've talked to, I will watch the draft. Don't get me wrong. I'm watching this stuff, but this might be one of the worst drafts we've had in quite some time. The pass rush is good. Some of the tackles are good. Some of the receivers are good. But overall, I mean, the sexiness is always the quarterbacks and the skill position guys. There's very good wide receivers in this draft, but overall, it may not be an amazing draft when it's all said and done.
So there's not much talent?
Yeah, it's just a little bit of, there's good groups of people, but nothing is a sure thing besides maybe your lookalike, Aiden Hutchinson.
Right. Yeah. I've watched some highlight of Aiden Hutchinson just to pretend like it's me out there on the field. Kind of the same thing like when Jeremy Langford was the running back for the Bears and Mike Tirico on ESPN never called him by his first name. So it'd always be like, Langford with the carry. Langford rushes it in. So I just close my eyes and picture myself as the running back and Tirico calling my name instead of it being Jeremy Langford on the Chicago Bears.
You also drafted Jeremy Langford just because of his last name, too.
Correct. Yeah, but he was also a red zone scorer, so needed that sort of that sort of guy on my team. Excuse me, stumbled over my words. Had a 3-hour nap earlier. Really tired today.
Ooh, 3-hour nap. Nice.
Yeah, man. I got home at like midnight from the A's Giants game yesterday.
Let's talk about that real quick. So how was that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was there for my mom's birthday. It was pretty cool.
Happy
We took her
birthday.
out. Yeah, we took her out, and it was a good time because you're at the baseball game or whatever. But I was also, when I really thought about it, I was just like made sad by all of it
Why is
because
that?
maybe this is poor judgment on my part because you're not going to get a gauge on this when a game's on a Tuesday. Like this game's rarely ever on a Tuesday. Normally it starts on a Friday, so you got everyone coming out, getting drinks, and getting rowdy. So maybe my judgment here was wrong. And I was also sitting in 127, so I'm not going to act like I could speak for the entirety of the stadium. But the buzz for the Bay Bridge series is just no longer there. It's just gone.
Well, would you say that it's way too early this year?
Yeah, that too.
I mean, like, this is a June, July thing to me, and I love the Bay Bridge series. I'm not a fan of split caps, but I wore one back in the day, and my dad scolded me when we made the jump from the A's, and he was working for the Giants, and I was torn, like Natalie Imbruglia, and I wore a split cap to the game, and he said, "Take that off," and I had to wear a
Good for your
Giants hat.
dad. Agreed. Good for
Yeah,
your
sure,
dad.
whatever.
Well, come on. The split cap is one of the worst inventions in this world. Maybe worse
I
than Twitter.
agree, but it was more of a I work for the Giants thing now, so you got to take that damn A's hat off.
Gotcha. I saw a split River Cats jersey on yesterday. It was
really?
split. It was a split A's and Giants Rivers Cat jersey, and it was a Zito jersey though. He had
okay. Well, that makes sense.
It was green and gold, and then it was also black and orange, and it was River Cats, and then it had 7-4. And I'm like, what the hell? Zito's 7-5. So I didn't really understand that.
Yeah, I didn't understand either.
But split River Cats jersey, never seen that before. I actually had a little respect for that. They were doing the kiss cam, and then one of the last couples they showed both had split caps. And
I was gonna say you and your mom.
They got booed.
Oh, yeah.
Hard.
Ew. No, don't put that on there.
No. Yeah. Two of them. Kiss
So
cam.
was your mom digged out in A stuff?
Yes.
Of course she was.
Yes, she
Good
was.
old Jenny.
But she did not know any of the players, and that's the issue. Like, who the hell's Betancourt playing first? Who is this little Nick Allen guy? I've heard of him, but no one else has. Christian Pache. People know who he is because he's made some fun plays, but no one really knows how he got to the A's. Like, there's just Dalton Jeffries was their starter. Nobody knows who these guys are. Sheldon Noisy was on the A's during a
A's Noise.
spring. He was exactly A's Noisy. He was on one of their spring training rosters, and then he was in AAA for a bit. Then he went to the Dodgers. A's fans totally forgot about him. They're acting like this dude just arrived on the team. Like, no, he was a part of your team 3 years ago.
I don't even
No one
remember him.
remembers though.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what the team was. They were at a point where spring training guys didn't matter, and now they all do. And Noisy actually I actually really like him. He's a good player. But yeah, just not a lot of it's just different. And I don't think it's ever going to be the same. Then at the same time, you got Dave Cavill just going off on Twitter. Fun stuff.
Yeah, what's going on with Dave Cavill? Because I just caught the back and forth with our good buddy Damon Bruce, and he's asking him to come on his not his podcast, his radio show, and he refuses. And he asked if he could do like a TV debate with or Twitter debate, whatever, with Elon Musk, whatever. And the truth is that the A's are trying to prevent people from coming to the games. And it's sad, obviously, when you have a Bay Bridge series, the A's fans come over to Oracle Park and they see a much nicer stadium. And so I haven't even checked because I was so thrown off the fact that this series is starting this early in the season. Is it a 4-game series or is it a 2-game series or what? Just 2?
2-gamer.
So we're doing 2 at Oracle and then we're doing 2 in the Coliseum at a later time.
I actually have no clue how that's going to work out.
Yeah.
But normally, like, that would be my birthday tradition. Would be to go to A's Giants. It would be the first series of the season, and my birthday's in June, at the end of June 23rd. So that would always be the first series.
Just so I don't forget. I don't know when your birthday is. So I'm just gonna write that down.
Just text John Curley and he'll know.
He's good with birthdays. He is good with birthdays.
It's the weirdest thing. Like you are with the Super Bowl, whatever, with the Super Bowl MVPs and the winners and the scores and all that. He's like that with birthdays. It's very odd.
He's a good person, Steven. We should strive to be like John Curley.
I mean, there's a fine line between being a good person and just being straight up creepy. And Curley is towing that line.
Because he remembers people's birthdays and first names and all the good things that we forget.
He's like the nicest person ever.
Exactly. You're shitting on him for being nice. Nice guy Steven shitting on nice guy John Curley.
Oh, man. He's the best. Anyway, yeah, no, it was still a good time, though,
Even though the Giants beat up on the A's 8-2, but they're just a better team right now. It is what it is.
Yeah, well, they got no shot against a guy like Rodon. Rodon is he's one of, if not the best pitcher in baseball right now. So, and that's not me being biased. Those are just statistical facts.
Yeah. Who knows how much longer this will be a Bay Bridge series? Because as our buddy John Morosi told us, he expects them to leave for Vegas in 2 years. So clock's a ticking.
Yeah. I was down for a variety of reasons because he basically said in the nicest John Morosi way possible, yeah, this Giants offseason, they didn't do anything. I don't know what they're doing. And then the A's, he's like, well, I don't really have much positive to say about the A's either. So yeah, let's just move on.
Keeps it real. That John Morosi keeps it real, baby.
Yes, he does.
So we said the Warriors are coming out with a game. Coming out with a game. That's a poorly way to phrase that. There's going to be a game coming up. Turn your mic on first, buddy.
What?
I just got off work and my mind's flustered.
Oh.
The Warriors are playing a game in an hour and 10 minutes. And just real quick, game 4, disappointing, but it's hard to sweep a team. It was the first poor game of Jordan Poole's playoff career, but I think they're going to be totally fine. Tonight, though, if you're listening to this is for Wednesday. Wednesday night's game 5. They're not going to be with Andre Iguodala. He has the neck issue again, and that's something we got to worry about going forward. But there is speculation. I don't know if Anthony Slater's tweeted out anything recently, but the rumor is that they're going to start with the death lineup, the new version of it, with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins, and Draymond Green. If they do go with that lineup tonight, Stephen, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so Shams Charania had it first.
Yeah, he did. He did have it first.
Well, my thoughts are, I want to see. Well, I mean, how it starts a game that'd be fascinating to watch. I want to see how Mike Malone combats that. But the question is, thank you, Ernie. Hang on, Ernie, our guy. Yep, the perfect lineup. That's right. It's a perfect lineup, baby.
I
I'm
like
calling it
Deathpool, but okay.
Death Pool. Death Pool. So, ugh. Anyway, what was I saying? The death
The
lineup,
perfect lineup.
the new version of the death lineup. Yeah, we can move past the conversation of whether this new version of the death lineup can compare to those of the Warriors past. Hampton's five, no. Death lineup originally with Harrison Barnes, maybe. But I mean, I'm tired of doing the comparisons. That's number one. But
Yeah.
I do want to see how they start off, and I want to see how many minutes they get. I don't know what they're going to do. I wonder what their subs are going to be in there because they've been going with a pretty steady rotation here of starting Kevon Looney and then eventually taking Looney and Klay Thompson out, bringing in Steph Curry. It's been all jumbled. Bringing in Steph and Otto Porter Jr. So I want to see what the second unit looks like. Funnily enough, because what's it going to look like when Looney comes in? I like the move. I just hope they don't get into foul trouble early. That was the problem in the last game. Everyone, yeah, and the fouls and the turnovers, like I understand all of that, but the Nuggets have been fouling and turning over the ball just as much as the Warriors have this entire series. So it's just a question of it's not the total amount, it's not the fouls per game, it's who's getting the fouls and how early they're getting the fouls. That like last game, you never want to blame a game on the refs, but dude, they couldn't swallow the whistle. They couldn't let the game play. It took forever.
Didn't Klay get 4 fouls before the half?
Yes,
Yeah.
he did. Draymond fouled out.
Yeah, when Draymond fouled out with like what, 5 minutes to go, 4 minutes to go, whatever, 2 minutes to go. Okay,
2 minutes, but still, that 2 minutes was crucial.
And it was reminiscent of when Klay Thompson got 3 early fouls in Game 7 against the Rockets in the Western Conference Finals, but he managed to stay in the game. I don't know if you saw my tweet, Steven, but I thought for whatever reason that the second half was going to be an Andrew Wiggins game because the threes weren't landing. Steph was a little rusty, and Steph, even though he finished with a good point total in the end, it wasn't his best game. He managed to get it close and take the lead in the fourth quarter, but it was not their best game. And I just thought that they were going to go to the rack and start, playing ISO ball, KD style, without KD, with Andrew Wiggins. And then I realized that Andrew Wiggins cannot make a shot right in front of him. I love him. I think he makes good defense. He plays well in the offense. It works well with him at times, but he's not the number one guy. He's not going to take the game over. I know it's a stupid tweet, Steve. You don't have to laugh at me.
Hang on.
You going to pull my tweet now?
You're damn straight I am.
I thought I was going to be so
this
smart.
This may need to be an Andrew Wiggins game.
It may need to. And you think about things in basketball terms. The game wasn't working. I thought that they may just needed to take some easy baskets. But then it turns out that Andrew Wiggins cannot make the easy baskets.
There's been no such thing as an Andrew Wiggins game all year.
He scored 41 in a game.
Except for like the one time that he played in Minnesota, just because he always plays Minnesota well. I mean, if you're talking about the Grizzlies in the Timberwolves series,
that's a good series.
Who you want. It's a fantastic series there. And you talk about who you want in the next round. Because I think we well, you could want Memphis. But, I mean, if they play the Timberwolves and the Timberwolves win, Andrew Wiggins, a little extra motivation there.
That's true. That's true.
But Andrew Wiggins has been pretty good. You don't need him scoring. Like I think just what he gets consistently with this team, 15 to 20 points a game. I think that's the sweet spot right there. But you need him playing defense. You need him rebounding. Yeah. That's going to be the key with the small ball lineups to start out this game. Wiggins in his rebounding and his help defense has been way overlooked when it comes to this new version, the perfect lineup, if you will, because him and Draymond have been holding it down. But the numbers have been different the past couple of games, so I'm very excited to see what happens. But I'm glad they're doing it. And there's one more thing. I keep on rambling here. One more thing I want to see. I want to see Kuminga with this unit. I want to see what he looks like.
Not shooting enough. Don't shoot a lot though.
Yeah, but he's going to have a lot of open space just to do something.
That's fine.
Crazy.
Make those vicious dunks, but I don't want you shooting threes. Just don't do that again.
No, he doesn't need to shoot threes. That's fine. But I'm talking
He
about
was he was
being
taking some
a
threes last game.
yeah, I know. But look, he had 11 minutes of time on the floor,
I
and he
know. I
wasn't
know.
he wasn't supposed to. So, in the end, I think Chase Center is going to go nuts for this, and I think they win Game 5 easily. I actually think this is going to be a blowout. I don't think the Nuggets have any chance. This is going to be like how the Bucks Bulls is working out right now.
I know. As soon as Chris Middleton got injured, they were running away with that series. And last time I checked, they were up 60-42 at halftime. So, and yeah, I would love to see the Grizzlies in the next round. But on the flip side of that, Steven, with you know Andrew Wiggins getting motivation against the Timberwolves, D'Angelo Russell's playing a little better these days, and he may have some motivation to play against the Warriors because he was such a long tenured Warrior.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay, but
That was a joke.
D'Angelo. Oh, okay. Well, the long.
Feel free to laugh on a podcast that's audible.
The long tenured warrior thing. Yeah, it was okay joke. I'll laugh when it's good. When
That's fair.
good.
Thank you.
Or I'll just be a dick and just laugh when I'm making fun of somebody or you.
You'll laugh when you pull up a tweet of mine that obviously went the wrong way.
Because that's all I've done all week. Yeah, I don't. I'd rather have the Timberwolves because that looks like a team that could just get so deflated and just not even come back. Plus, I don't think they're winning this series. That game last night,
they had two chances to pull away in the series, and both games they shit the bed. So I think we're playing the Grizzlies. I think we're playing the Suns, and I think we're playing the Celtics. But that's really early.
Ooh,
that's really
wow.
early.
So
that's
you're
really
talking,
early.
You're talking finals already, huh?
Let's see what happens tonight. Wednesday, Game 5. I think the Warriors are going to pull this off. We're not going to have a 76ers situation. We finish business tonight like we always do. But, yeah, man, I like our chances going forward. If they play like they're capable of, I don't think any team is beating them.
Are you wearing a Schroeder shirt?
Oh, yeah, baby.
Was that
shout out to Rom?
I'm trying to remember. Was that because you talked about Clay getting the early fouls in Game 7? Were we watching Game 7 at Schroeder's?
No,
because
we
watched we watched Warriors Rockets at Schroeder's.
We did the next year.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Me, Whitley, and Rado, I think, went to what's that place with the beer pong up the street from 95.7 The Game? Remember that place?
I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah,
I can't remember what it's called.
We went there to go watch Game 7, and I was so nervous. We watched I don't think you were there with us because you had to be back the next day early. We watched the Warriors and Rockets the next year when KD got hurt, Game 6 in Houston at Schroeder's, and that's one of the best games I've ever seen. It was so
that's
great.
why everyone was going
because
insane.
We needed that win so bad, and it was a great feeling.
Everyone was going nuts. Like when I think back to like a bar scene, because you don't really like you don't always get to experience it where there's just an unbelievably exciting game at a bar, but that one, like there was so much riding on it. That was great.
And it was a straight up like fuck you to the Rockets. Like, you think you can beat us without Kevin Durant? You can't.
Speaking of which, the Sixers in their series with the Raptors. Now it's 3-2. But dude, James Harden is such a different player than he was with the when he was with the Rockets and they were playing those Warriors playoff teams back then. He was taking he was basically taking twice as many shots a game when he was with the Rockets as opposed to now. His assist numbers are up, which is fine.
Embiid's the guy.
You also need to shoot a little bit, and his percentages are all down, even though the attempts are down. Like he is not thriving anymore.
I would say that I still expect them to win that series, but if they don't close things out in Game 6, Doc Rivers has a hard time closing out series, my man.
Ooh, that he does.
If they were the first team to lose a 3-0 start, yikes.
Doc on the all 75 NBA coaches list or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
What is it, 15? Or is it 15 best coaches?
Yeah.
15 best coaches of all time, and he's on
there. We'll talk about the war. We will be back tomorrow too, because we're going to do 3 straight days of podcast. You're going out of town on Friday. So today we're going to do our little draft preview show. We will review Game 5 tomorrow, and we'll talk a little draft before the draft happening. Alon is attending the draft, and he's going to join me on Friday, and we'll talk about day 1 stuff. So 3 straight days of content for all you fuckers out there. And we'll talk more about the Warriors, and I really want to talk about the Nets and Kevin Durant and that whole mess. But let's talk about the draft, sir, because it is a day away. And like I said, I'm not really intrigued so much with the players and where they're going. There's so much hoopla with this draft. And we're hearing a lot of rumors, and it's just way too much for me. I don't believe any of it. It's all smokescreens in my belief. We don't even know who's going number one at this point. What I'm intrigued with is I thought it was going to happen today, but hours before the draft, are the Jets going to make the Niners an offer they can't refuse? Because that's the thing. They're making the Godfather package. That's what we're all hearing about.
They're trying to.
The day you could come to me the day of the draft and offer me a 10th overall pick. You like that?
Thank you so much for inviting me to Las Vegas on the day of the NFL draft. I hope that this draft is a masculine draft.
That's a good Luca Brasi.
Appreciate it.
So, Steven, I thought it was going to happen today, and Tony Pauline,
Yeah.
with I think whatever publication he works for, he's a good
Pro Football Network.
There you go. Thank you. That's why I keep you around. He said on Tuesday night that the Jets are prepared to make the 49ers an offer they can't refuse. They're referring to it as the Godfather package. But yet nothing has happened. And the big boys like Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport have reported that nothing is happening as of yet. But if you listen to Matt Mayoko and Tim Kawakami and Daniel Jeremiah, they all seem to believe that a trade is on the horizon. And I don't know what to believe at this point. I don't know if I had to guess, and I have to preface this by saying I don't know anything because Steven had to bring up that I have an inside source with the Niners with Greg, and Greg doesn't know anything. I don't know anything, but I would assume that they're vetting all possibilities right now. They're sitting tonight trying to mend fences with Debo, and if they can't get things done, then tomorrow becomes a very interesting day.
I would have called you out if you would have said, I've been hearing that they've been doing that. I've been hearing
I don't know shit. I don't know anything. Let me just say that so I don't get in trouble.
Yeah, well, do you think though, like after day one tomorrow, after day one of the draft, and nothing's done? I mean, is Debo on the team? Like, are they going to figure it out?
Well, I mean, would it be in the best interest of the 49ers to then make a Khalil Mack trade in training camp and get nothing this season? Probably not.
Not at all. I don't think so.
So I think I think if they're going to do it, it has to be tomorrow.
Yeah, if nothing is done, because we have seen it before, but if nothing's done after tomorrow, then I think the Niners are in good hands there. But that trade package, I think it was the first round pick. It would be their 10th. Then it would
is this what's being rumored?
Yes. Then it would be the 36th pick, which is their second rounder. So it'd be a first and second rounder this year.
I think it's 30. I think it's 33. But either way,
whatever, draft guy. And
well, no, see, hold on, there's a difference because in the second round they have a 33 and a 38. So
okay, gotcha. All right, so it'd be that the first rounder, the second rounder, and Elijah Moore.
That's the one I heard proposed by Cynthia Freeland on Path to the Draft. And honestly, that's not bad if they get the 10th overall pick to draft another wide receiver. If
you get the 10th in the second pick and the second rounder and Elijah Moore, nobody knows who Elijah Moore is just because he's with the Jets. Here's a word. He's pretty good.
No, he's a good slot guy. No, I mean, if you had, whoever you want to take, if you're getting Chris Olave at 10, or I think it's a little too high, but Treylon Burks, who's supposed to be the next Deebo Samuel, you got him, you got Brandon Ayuk, and you got Elijah Moore. It's a pretty good receiving core. Hey, that rhymes.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. And you could also sign someone in free agency if you want to the season after, and you're not paying 22, 23, 24 million, whatever it would be, to a wide receiver.
Yes.
So, if you're giving me that deal and I'm the 49ers and I've done my research on the draft and I know someone I want to pick, I'm like, I'm taking that deal. Plus, isn't there like a good offensive line contingent? The Niners need to build something there. Within their offensive line.
Because apparently I was wrong in being so confident that Alex Mack is coming back. We don't know. That's the latest is we don't know what's up with Alex Mack.
Yeah. you were hearing Alex back.
Well, I mean, I just like everything that I read. It sounded like, yeah, he's coming back, and then it's starting to turn into a Joe Staley thing where he may retire the day after the draft or something.
Yeah, you never know, man. These guys, with the amount that they played for so long, I really do think that I do think we overlook the conversations that these guys have with their families and just really how hard of a decision it is to go back into the NFL because of how much time it takes from their lives. But yeah, man, if they're making that deal, I would not be opposed to that, and I'd be going on the air tomorrow morning. If that deal, let's just say it's done tonight in the middle of game 5,
Oh,
Warriors
God.
Nuggets.
Please don't do
Yeah.
it tonight. That's everyone's worst nightmare. all sports radio hosts having to do Warriors post game and just being like, and by the way, Debo Samuel's been traded.
Dude, if hypothetically, the Warriors lose, Debo Samuel traded, like that'd be one of the worst days in Bay Area history, in Bay Area sports
It'd be
history.
bad. It'd be bad. But I don't think
although-
either are happening tonight.
Although, yeah, I do think that nothing is ever going to top the Warriors losing to the Cavs on Father's Day.
Dude.
I don't think anything's ever going to top that. But
That was just utter shock.
Yeah.
Like I had never felt that. Like even in Raider games, most of the time I expect the Raiders to lose. Back in my Raider fandom days, but not anymore because they got a good team.
You're still a Raider fan. Shut up.
All right. Either way, that was like one of the first times where like, what am I feeling right now? This is what's supposed to happen. What the hell's going on here?
Good Lord. Hopefully there weren't any like mirrors or glass around when you were watching that game, because like you even during a Raider game when Connor Cook was quarterback, you're known to throw a chair or two.
I didn't throw a chair. I threw a glass. Either way, let's not dwell on that. And I yelled in a Cavs fan's face at the same location that will not be named. Pick 6.
Really?
All right, here we go.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Pick 6. God, it's such a great place.
Oh, somebody reminded me, dude. Someone tweeted at me the other day.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tyler Wilson. He tweeted at me saying, "Man, I miss those meetups we used to have over at Pick 6."
Yeah, dude. Those are good times.
I'm like, man, it's turned into something different now. So it could still be up. It could still be up for watch parties and whatnot. But man, I miss those days of Pick 6.
Hey, Steven, who knows? We may have those days again. That's a tease, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh.
Regardless, let's stick on this for now. So, Debo Samuel trade rumors.
Yes.
We don't know if this is going to happen tomorrow. If I had to guess, I mean, how much longer can they let this play out? Because watching the press conference that Kyle Shanahan did not attend, and John Lynch looked very flustered, the most I've ever seen him.
What did I say the Jets had in the second round?
Did you say 36?
No, 35th, I think.
You said, is it not 33?
No,
that's my mistake. And then 33 is the first pick, and then I fucked that up. Is it 35?
It is 35 and 38. But I actually think the 35th pick was the one that was thrown into that hypothetical trade with Debo. So there we go.
So, yeah, if it's 10, 35, and Elijah Moore, that's a great deal. If it's 10, 35, and next year's first, that's a better deal, in my opinion.
Right.
But yeah, just watching the press conference Monday afternoon or Monday morning, John Lynch was the first time I saw him kind of just like, I don't know. I don't have any answers here. And he didn't want to talk about it. And I love that he said, guys, we're not going to talk about Debo. And then literally every question was about Debo.
Yep. Well, I mean, what else are they going to talk about? Hey, we're doing a pre-draft press conference. Let's talk about
none of the picks we had for the first round.
Was a third rounder on Friday or Saturday, whatever day it is, because the second and third round's on Friday, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, like what else are they going to ask about?
I know, and it's terrible timing, and I don't think it's any coincidence that Kyle Shanahan was not there. I think that I don't know anything, but if I had to guess, I would say he's not happy about this whole situation and doesn't want to act like he's going to pretend everything's okay. It would be 10 times worse than a year ago when he was asked, "Do you expect Jimmy to be on the roster by Sunday?" And he goes, "I don't know if we're going to be fucking alive on Sunday."
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
This whole world could blow up by Sunday.
But dude, I'm with you. Like, if Lynch, with all the words that he said, you can try and read between the lines based on what he said all you want. But I just think that based on what he said, he's a truthful guy, sure. But when he does ramble on like that, like that's just proof that he's just that this is real. Because he could have easily just come out and said, you know what, this is way overblown. Everyone going crazy because of social media, the media, everybody's going insane when really it's not that big a deal. We're in the works. We're getting a deal done. I don't think anybody needs to worry about this. Debo's going to be a 49er for a very long time. Or he could have done what or he could go on the opposite end and just pull a Marshawn Lynch and just say, like, I'm just here so I don't get fined. You know, like,
well, you can't do that as a GM.
I know, right? But basically, that's the version. What he did is the GM's version of, I don't want to be, I'm just here so I don't get fined. I'm just here so I could answer your questions when not really answering them.
Yeah.
Speak in terms that don't sound too certain, but still give you hope as a 49er fan. Like he was politicking up there. I do
politicking.
I do feel bad for him up there though, man. Like,
yeah, they're in a bad, shitty position.
The amount of questions that he's had to answer that he just doesn't want to answer.
Yeah.
Like John Lynch got into this GM business because he loves football. And I do think he understood what came with the territory along with all of this, but I don't think he expected it to be, okay, we're going to talk about Jimmy Garoppolo for an entire offseason. Okay, now let's talk about Deebo Samuel for an entire offseason.
Yeah.
Even though he's done pretty well in getting his premium players paid. Like, we just say, oh, yeah, he paid George Kittle. Great. But really, they locked him up at a good time. Trent Williams, they got that deal done. And he's one of the best left tackles in the league. So they have in Fred Warner, too. The Bruckner thing isn't good. But Fred Warner, though, like, they got those deals done. So I do think he deserves credit for that. But, yeah, we just focus so much on the negatives here with him.
No, I don't think John Lynch has done a terrible job whatsoever. I think he's done an amazing job. But, yeah, it's a terrible situation. You have you're arguably your best player, and I would say Nick Bosa is the better player, but you have your best offensive player not wanting to be on the team anymore. And you have your head coach who loves the guy, fits kind of the offense all around him, and now he's probably pissed that he has to get rid of him.
Yeah, and not even to mention the fact, because you brought it up, but Kyle Shanahan not being there speaks very loud volumes.
Yeah, I think so too.
These go to 11. Extremely loud volume. Spinal Tap.
I know. Come on, people know Spinal Tap.
It's like our viewers. These go to 11.
Smell the. Yeah, I think that Kyle not being there is saying that I think tonight they're locked in their rooms. They're watching film on receivers. They probably have already received an offer from the Jets at this point. They're watching film on anybody potentially they could take at 10 and at 35. And they're thinking about it all night. And then tomorrow, we may not hear anything, or we could have a huge bombshell like a year ago when Adam Schefter said that Aaron Rodgers wanted to be traded. And it could just be a whole shitstorm tomorrow. But who knows? I think that when push comes to shove, you hear people like Kawakami and Mayoko all say that this is leaning in the direction he's going to get traded. I would think tomorrow that this may happen if I just had to put money on it.
Yeah, I feel like it will too. But at the same time, I think they are working to get a deal done. But it's all too much, man. I don't know. It's pretty fascinating because 49er fans, they're wondering what happened to this guy. What happened to the guy who's crying at the end of the NFC Championship? What happened to the guy who wanted that ball in Dallas and wanted to go for the win? Like, the market changes things, man. It changes these guys, these athletes, when they feel like they're worth something and they are not going to be getting paid what they're worth. All of these wide receiver trades happen at the worst time for the Niners. At the worst time. Because I don't think if Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, I don't think if those trades happen that you're looking at some sort of situation like this. If Stephon Diggs is but it was inevitable just because those guys are coming up on their contracts. But if those two trades didn't happen, the Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams, I don't think we'd be. I think we'd be having a very different conversation because it appears that those two guys, with what they got traded for, that's what they're using as the baseline for Debo. So if those trades didn't happen, I think we'd be having a different conversation. I think they would have extended him.
Well, not only that, I think it's the Christian Kirk deal that
And the
was
Christian
given-
Kirk deal, no doubt.
that pretty much fucked everything up for the wide
No
receiver
doubt.
market.
100%. Yep. Trent Baalke somehow still screwing up the Niners, even from afar.
Speaking of Trent Baalke, we'll talk about him later. But yeah, man, I think that they will do their due diligence until time runs out, and then they may have to make a move here. And they're in a good position because if this news came out after the draft, they'd be screwed. So it's good to be in this position now. I'm like, okay, well, we don't want to give up Debo. We really don't want to give up Debo. But if we have to, we have to. We can get a good player in return. And it was pretty telling by John Lynch where he was just like, I mean, I don't like. He didn't say that we're not trading Debo, but he said it like, I don't think we should. I don't think it's a good idea. But then again, he also acknowledged we're in a new day and age. You have Debo going to the club, whatever the hell that sign was. Debo's going back to the Niners, and he was like, no, it's not happening. Then he goes on Twitter today and says everybody's making up false reports. What's true then, Debo? You tell us what's true then.
Yeah. Yep. He's been totally radio silent on it. It's not very good.
Well, then he's not denying that he demanded a trade. That's the truth. Otherwise, he would have gone to Jeff Darling and been like, "You're a liar." But that's true. He does want to get out of San Francisco.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind about that. But the only reason that I think the Niners can keep him is because, like, whatever they'd have to give up for him, that Godfather's haul, like, would a team really be willing to do that? Like, 20, if they're going to pay him what he's going to be paid, like, they're going to have to give up a lot, and they're also going to be having to pay a wide receiver $23 million when that wide receiver has not had a very good track record of staying healthy. Like, it's a big risk. So maybe the pause that we're seeing right now isn't so much what's going on within the 49ers organization. Maybe the halt in proceedings is from these other teams because they're like, oh, well, all right, if they're asking for this price, is it really worth it? So maybe they're going back and forth on it too.
We'll see tomorrow if this Godfather package is proposed and accepted.
By the way,
yes.
what the hell was that?
That's the mandolin version of the Godfather theme. Anyway,
What have you been holding that from, like a stand-up bit that you wanted
I've
to
been
do in
doing- I've
LA
been
or
doing that-
something?
I would do that since I was a kid.
I do want to look at the 2021 draft though and see if like any quarterbacks would wind up in the top 10. I was thinking about this earlier, like I because I'm looking at these guys in the first round and I'm just thinking, man, these quarterbacks here that they got, like Trey Lance, you don't really know what you have with him. Trevor Lawrence, he's okay. Zach Wilson seems fine. I don't know if I take him in a top 10 pick. We're focusing so much on like these quarterbacks this year and whether they'd be worth it to take within the top 10 or not. And then I'm thinking, well, with those quarterbacks that were drafted last year, were they worth it to take in the top 10? Like, really?
Time will tell.
Yeah.
I mean,
so we're so high on these guys, we're so low on them, but in reality, we just do not know.
We don't know. And yeah, like that's the like the sexiness that's not appealing this year is the quarterback play. I'll talk about a little bit later, but yeah. I'm more interested in the people that are going to get traded hypothetically this weekend than the actual players being selected. And you got Debo out there. You also got this report, and I texted you when this came out immediately. I think it's ridiculous. I don't think it's real. Aaron Nagler, who's a writer for the Packers, said on Monday that originally the Devontae Adams trade package to the Raiders was going to include Darren Waller. But there's a rule in the NFL that if you tag a player and trade him, you cannot trade with a non-tagged player. I don't know if that's a thing. I never heard that before. Regardless, Darren Waller was not part of the deal, and I don't think he's part of any deal going forward. That being said, the Raiders will have to make a decision eventually about Hunter Renfrow and Darren Waller. But I don't think it's happening this offseason. If you're trying to compete with the Denver Broncos, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Los Angeles Chargers, you need Devontae Adams and Darren Waller on your team. So I do not think this happens at all.
Is there precedent with that where a franchise tags a player and then ends up trading them and that player goes on to get a big contract?
Not that I remember.
Yeah.
So when
So,
I
like-
first read it, I thought this could be true, but everything you're hearing is no. It's not happening.
Okay.
Like Vic Tafer says no, Vinny Bonsignore says no, and Derek Carr says no. But Derek Carr also thought Khalil Mack was staying.
Correct. And blamed himself afterwards. No, it's because of your best friend John Gruden, Derek Carr. So I do believe that Darren Waller was involved in the trade package. I believe that was a thing. I do believe the NFL rescinded it. Does it mean that the Raiders had accepted that trade? No, I don't think so. I think it could have been proposed, but then the NFL stepped in and said, nah, that's not happening. Because I bet you when trades are proposed, it's not just done with the organizations. I'm sure the NFL steps in and sees these proposals and what's going on. Just kind of like the commissioner in a fantasy football league. But it doesn't mean that the Raiders accepted it. And I hate that PFF just posted the graphic with zero context and just said, oh, Darren Waller involved in a trade to the Packers. Like, I got sent that graphic like by 15 different people. I'm not joking. Like, everybody sent me that graphic. And it's like, dude, look into it. Look into this report from Nagler and really see what happened there, because that's just all one headline with no context. Freaking PFF. I give them a low PFF. I give them a 20 PFF grade for that.
Ooh, that's low.
That's very low.
I think. I have no idea.
Yeah, the lows are like in the 30s, 40s, but I give them a 20 for that one.
Ooh, damn, you're harsh.
That's my PFF grade.
PFF has turned into something that was respected to now like a sexy thing on Twitter now. Let's not send out graphics of things that are not done deals yet. Like Darren Waller in trade proposal for the Packers. That's like a banner and a graphic. You don't need that. Like, and people want to put Darren Waller and like Photoshopping him in the jersey. Like, I'm just tired of rumors being now like concrete facts. Because for all we know, the Debo stuff could be just not true. I mean, I do believe that he wants to be traded, but who knows if the Jets actually are offering this Godfather package.
I think they are. I do think they are.
I believe that one more than Darren Waller. But
and I also believe though that this Waller thing is going to get real next year.
Well,
when
okay.
when Renfrow needs a new deal, Waller's contract is going to be up. Waller's going to be the only tight end that can reset the market, so to speak. I think that's a conversation that's because there's going to be options that you can pick up for the Raiders, and there's a possibility that they just decline all of those options and they just decide to pay both Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow and figure it out from there. Like Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Abram, all those guys are up for options. So I do think it's going to be a real conversation next year with Darren Waller getting traded. But I think it's much ado about nothing. Shout out to you, Shakespeare. Much ado about nothing this year with Darren Waller.
Shout out also to Denzel Washington, who played in the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
He's in Much Ado About Nothing, the movie version.
Can I just bring something up about Denzel?
Bring it up, baby.
This is a random thought. I'm sorry. I do want to get back into football. You ever see the movie Hurricane?
Yeah, a great movie.
Really? I want to watch it.
You never seen The Hurricane?
I've never seen The Hurricane. I was going down Denzel's IMDb page the other day.
What's his name? Reuben Carter? Reuben Carter was the boxer. I won't give anything away. It's a great story.
Oh, well, I already kind of know the story because Bob Dylan made an entire song about it, which is fantastic.
The story of the hurricane. The man that thought he's came to blame was something he never done.
That's really good.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's better than mine. Mine is just like, we were standing there in a line waiting for the movie. Do we get popcorn or do we get wine?
I do
we
steal
get
my
milk
impression.
duds?
I'm still my impression from John C. Riley in Walk Hard, where he sings that gibberish song in the Bob Dylan voice.
Yeah.
The twisted birth canal in the Coliseum. Rim job fairies, oh say can't you see 'em?
That
Stuffed
movie kind of
cabbage is the laundromat of life. All right,
every time the Beatles are pulled up on a screen, I always
making
say
shit
just
songs when I'm 64.
I like the little one.
I have a song
Anyway,
about an octopus. We know
An
you do,
octopus.
Ringo. You never shut the fuck up about it. That's such a great movie.
anyway, that was random. Sorry, I just like when I
No.
thought of Denzel, I was looking
Hur-
down the IMDb the other day, and
Hurricane
one
is a
I
great movie.
Googling.
Great movie. So yeah, you and I are in agreement that we don't believe that Darren Waller will be traded this offseason for a second round pick. That would do you no good. But this will become a thing later on. So if you had to pick between Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow, Steven, who would you pick?
God, now we're doing this already, huh?
It's Derek
hoping
Carr's
to
best friend.
I was hoping we were gonna answer this next year. Oh
I know
God,
this is way too early. Way too early for this conversation.
I would lean Renfro. I'd lean Renfro because
Can't you find another white slot guy?
I don't know if he's just another white slot guy though. Like he is.
And I don't know if Darren Waller's just another tight end.
I know. But they have Foster Moreau already, who's proven to be pretty good.
Stop it.
They got Devontae Adams.
Josh McDaniels loves himself. He had Randy Moss one time, and then he had Rob Gronkowski another time. I'm sure he would love to play with both.
Let me answer this one. I don't think Josh Jacobs is going to be a Raider once his first contract's up.
Okay, all right.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think they can try and survive without a bell cow running back.
Can you dream?
So if you had, it'd be tough. But I do think there's a real possibility to keep both and just don't pick up the options of any of these other rookies, and they just try to build from the ground up and maybe take the Rams way and just trade away their draft picks in the future and just try and get more guys.
Manipulate the cap. Or you could pay Hunter Renfrow a very low, contract. We see what Cooper Kupp gets, and then just make it a little bit less, and then you franchise tag Darren Waller.
While everyone is zagging, the Raiders are Zieglering.
There you go. Yeah, not bad. But legitimate guys I'm looking out for tomorrow that could be traded. At this point, Baker Mayfield is not getting traded tomorrow. I don't believe he's getting traded tomorrow. It may be a weekend thing. We'll see if that happens. It sounds like the Panthers are not going to take a quarterback, and he could be on their radar. Jimmy Garoppolo, not getting traded tomorrow. Not this weekend at all. Nothing's happening with Jimmy until his arm is out of a sling, in my opinion. You agree?
I'm with you there. Yeah.
Okay. DK Metcalf, we heard trade rumors initially. I don't know if it's going to happen. He seems to like Seattle, and they seem to like him. He's not causing a stink with the contract stuff. They may pay him. So I don't think he's going anywhere at this point.
Yeah, I could see that too.
Terry McLaurin, we don't know what's going on with him either. He could be, haven't heard much about him. Carson Wentz needs a guy to throw to. So I would say for now, I don't think he's getting traded.
I agree. I really think Debo's the only one. But yeah. Anyway, keep going.
No, I mean, there's other guys that have been thrown out. Kadarius Toney, Darius Slayton, James Bradbury, all on the Giants. They're in trade rumors. Mekhi Becton. The rumor is today that he weighed in at 400 pounds during the season, and they want to move off of him. I don't know if he'd be part of the Godfather package. I don't know if the Niners need a 400-pound left tackle. That's not 100% either. That's just a rumor, but I don't know if that's a lot of weight. And then Robert Quinn has been thrown out there for trade speculation after the Bears trade away Khalil Mack. Robert Quinn put up 18 sacks this season. It turned out to be yesterday. The story went from Robert Quinn is on the trade market to not being on the trade market. So they're not getting the offers that they like yet. So he could be a guy that is traded. That's the stuff that I'm interested with tomorrow in the NFL draft, of just in this crazy offseason we've had of so many trades that I think possibly more are to come. And we still got a lot of free agents that are waiting to sign after the draft as well. Tyrann Mathieu, I keep expecting him to sign with the Rams after the draft. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, what the hell? I thought Tyrann Mathieu was going to go somewhere already, but
He's
Mekhi
waiting.
Becton. What the hell?
That's a rumor. Is he weighed in at 400 pounds at some point this season or the off season, and they're kind of fed up with him.
Didn't he like tear his ACL?
He did, and he didn't. He gained a lot of weight. Just
ooh, God, that's brutal.
It's tough though when you're sitting on your butt. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, seriously. I mean, you could get skinny though, and just try and not eat. I don't know.
Well, you can work out in the pool. There's pool exercises you could do with the torn ACL, but it's tough. This draft tomorrow, Steven, we don't know. We don't have a consensus number one pick. It's rumored between Aiden Hutchinson. I fucked it up both times. We don't have a person that everyone's going towards. The rumor is the favorite right now is Trayvon Walker will be the first overall pick for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And this would not be out of the norm for Trent Baalke. This is a guy who took Aldon Smith when no one knew who he was. And he turned out to be a really good player. Trayvon Walker, while his name was brought up, it would be kind of like, whoa, this guy went from just, working out very well to being the number one pick. And a lot of people say he has the best upside of any pass rusher. So the rumor is it's down to Trayvon Walker, Aiden Hutchinson. So apparently the GM or Baalke wants Walker. Doug Peterson wants, I'm going to fuck this guy's name up every time, Ekeme Nwoku.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably butchering that, but the left tackle from North Carolina State.
That sounds right.
Okay. And then Aiden Hutchinson, who Shad Khan wants, the owner.
Okay.
So It's interesting. This is probably the first draft we've had where we don't know who the first overall pick is going to be since 2018. We all expected Sam Darnold to go number one with the Cleveland Browns, and then the day of the draft, it turned out to be Baker Mayfield. So I could see this going. If I had to guess right now, I think Trayvon Walker will be the first overall pick. And then things get, kind of weird after that. Aiden Hutchinson probably will go to the Lions, your boy, the guy that you look like. And this draft is not really that sexy to me. I mean, you said you don't feel a wiggle about this as we start the podcast.
Nobody does.
But is it more so just because the Raiders and Niners don't have a pick in the first round?
It could be a Bay Area thing.
Totally
be a Bay Area thing. But even so, it just doesn't feel like there's any buzz for it. No matter how many Matt Miller / Todd McShay / Mel Kiper mock drafts that I'm going to see out there, Daniel Jeremiah, Bucky Brooks, all of that, doesn't feel like there's a lot of buzz around it. And, I mean, these mock drafts, I think they're going to be as wrong as ever.
Oh, dude, that's why. Real quick before I get into mock drafts, is there anybody in this draft that you think the Niners, if they don't trade with Deebo Samuel and everything, is there a player that you've been watching that you think the Niners and Raiders are potentially missing out on? Or the fact is that they just got better getting Devontae Adams and Trey Lance, and they don't need anybody in this draft in the first round?
Yeah, no, I think, the Raiders, the one that I'm always pointing to is Nakobe Dean.
Yeah.
I think they could always use another linebacker, and watching that dude, because I didn't watch a lot of college football, but I did watch Georgia when I could, just because I heard it was like the best defense in college football history. So I had to watch it, and Nakobe Dean stood out. And when I saw that he was going to be available over there at 22, which is what the Raiders originally had, I'm like, damn. The Niners I didn't really have a thought about because I don't know what their place would have been in the draft. I mean,
they would have been missing out on it. 30 or 29 because they lost in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah. So. I don't even know who would fall to them. I mean,
maybe
I don't
corner.
know if you could get it. I mean, I don't know. Would Jameson Williams fall that far?
No.
You don't think so?
People like him, man. Even with a torn ACL, I think he's going to be one of either the second or the third wide receiver taken off the board.
Funny how this happens. Maybe Adam Schefter was listening to the Just Your Opinion Man podcast because he just tweeted out that Darren Waller says that despite any pre-draft rumors connecting him to the Packers, the Raiders told him that he's staying in Vegas. They said that's not a thing that's happening, and there's no trade that's going to happen. So,
according to
Darren Waller, the man himself. See, that is what you see when there's not going to be a trade that happens.
Yep.
With everything happening with Deebo Samuel and the Niners, that's what goes on when there is a trade that's going to happen.
Things could get crazy tomorrow, but like we said, I don't think Darren Waller is going to.
I'm going to tweet that out. That might be a good tweet.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Better
Good
than my
tweet.
Andrew Wiggins one.
Yeah, well, actually, yeah, I might tweet that out later.
You save on to that. You hold on to that one, sir.
This has to be an Andrew Wiggins game.
I thought it was going to be. He was making shots in the first half, and then, good God, he couldn't make a basket 2 feet in front of him. Anyway, you said it yourself, Steven. Mock drafts. I'm getting tired of them. They're always wrong. I'm not even going to bother making a mock draft, but I am going to give you some little tidbits of what I think is going to happen in this draft. I'm not making a mock draft every time. No one is 100% on their mock drafts. It never happens. So here's just a little thing. Here are little things that I think are going to happen in this draft. Do you have any music, Steven?
Do you want me to pull some up? What do you want here? What do you want? The rock? Do you want the lo-fi? What do you want?
The rock one was good. We were doing for the draft deep dive stuff. Oh, this is good. All right. So this draft. Here we go. Oh, is this breaking news? Curry to start. Ernie Chavez.
Where? What'd he say? What?
He says Curry to start. Is this breaking news that Curry's going to start in the lineup?
I don't trust Ernie. Ernie, I don't trust you, man.
We'll come to it a little later. Okay, let me talk to
Anthony Slater. The lineup for Game 5 is official. Curry and the death lineup, the perfect lineup, going to be starting.
All right. Well, I'm interested to see how this goes. And start with a bang, baby. All right, the draft tomorrow. If you listen to this on Wednesday, draft is Thursday. Here's what I think is going to happen. I think that Trayvon Walker will go first overall. I do think that we're going to see a lot of teams trading up. I believe the Green Bay Packers and Kansas City Chiefs are going to not just sit by and wait in their respective spots to take wide receivers. They want to trade up. They're going to package deals together. I think the Green Bay Packers could have potentially get Garrett Wilson, or Chris Olave, one of those guys, and trade up in the top 10. I think that could happen. I also think the Kansas City Chiefs could do that to get somebody like Jameson Williams to replace Tyreek Hill. And I don't believe any quarterbacks are going in the top 20. You're hearing all this stuff about, the Saints want to trade up to get a quarterback. I don't think any of these teams like these quarterbacks in the first round. I'm not saying that none of these quarterbacks will be taken in the first round. I just think that this is probably one of the weaker quarterback drafts we've seen in quite some time. And I think Kenny Pickett, Malik Willis, and Desmond Ridder could go all in the first round, but it's going to be a real hesitation with this class. So I don't think that we're going to see any quarterbacks in the top 10. We're not going to see any from 11 to 20. They will fall. That's my opinion. And that's your NFL draft mockery of just things I'm pointing out.
All right. We'll see if that comes to fruition there, man.
Yeah, we'll see. Mock drafts are so lame. Like, I've done the mock draft simulator on PFF, funny enough. And it's fun to do, but it'll be wrong. Everything's always wrong. No one knows what the hell. No one knows anything with the draft. No one knows a goddamn thing.
You know what I'm most excited for? It is when Drew Pearson, because I think he's been slated to make the announcement for the Cowboys. I can't wait for that. That's must-see television when Drew Pearson announces the Cowboys pick.
Yeah, and that will be either – do they do that on Friday night or Saturday afternoon? Either way.
I think it's normally Friday because he comes out for the he was out for the second round because one time he was so fired up that he said, with the second pick, the second round, with the 53rd pick of the round, whatever it was.
The Dallas Cowboys, the 5-time Super Bowl champions, just rubbing it in the Eagles fans' faces.
Yeah.
That was so good.
Yeah.
I'm going to miss he's been gone for a little bit of time now, but I'm going to miss Willie Brown coming out saying, hey, everybody, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. That's always nice.
Yes.
But Charles Woodson has taken his place now, so I look forward to that.
Oh, Charles Woodson's doing it?
He did in years past, but I think Charles. When did we lose Willie Brown? I forget, unfortunately. But
Willie
Charles,
Brown, we lost him 2 years ago, I think.
So I think ever since Charles comes out and says, "Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there." So,
oh man, let's just double check it and make sure.
Yeah,
it was 2019. So
2019. Yeah,
October of 2019.
Yeah, so it's been a few drafts, but the draft's going to be in Vegas and it'll be fun. And kind of interesting that the Raiders don't have a first round pick, and yet it's in their stadium.
I know Vegas is going to be popping this weekend, though.
Oh, it's already popping, sir. But hey, Devontae Adams as your first round draft pick's not bad.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Is Pat McAfee going to be doing the Colts one?
He's
Probably not.
I think he's there. And by the way, did you hear Pat McAfee is going to be part of the pregame show for Amazon Prime?
Nice. Good
Yeah.
work by them.
I think it's going to be Pat McAfee, Tony G, Marshawn Lynch, and it sounds like Kay Adams.
Kay Adams is moving
Yeah.
on there. Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that report the other day. Shout out to Kay. Never seen the Good Morning Football with the sound on, funnily enough. It's like Charmed, you know?
Yes.
I've seen every during NBA season, I've seen like every episode of Charmed with the sound off just because people leave the game on TNT or you leave the TV on TNT. And then what was it? Supernatural after that, seen every Supernatural episode without the sound on. And then Good Morning Football whenever we turn to NFL Network. Very entertaining because I do think they have some genius segments on there during football season.
Kyle Brandt's great.
And I've never seen it with the sound on. Like,
no, that's fair. It's on super early, but it's always fun during NBA playoff time to come in the next morning wherever you're working. If you work in sports, you experience it with the radio station. I experienced it working in NFL Network. You turn on the TVs and it's always Charmed, Supernatural. It's never, TNT always shows Catch Me If You Can on the weekends, but I always wanted to turn it on and be like, hey, Catch Me If You Can is on early in the morning. Great movie.
Our boy Alex Scott, toward the end of his tenure doing Warrior games, he wouldn't have it on TNT. He'd have it on the cooking channel when I'd come in the next morning. That's no joke. Actually, it still happens. I think Alex Scott
just breaks in the middle of the night.
I think he passed that on to the new people who work for the Warriors, and he just said, look, the cooking channel, you get to watch food being made. What's better than that?
Oh, dude.
I'm kind of with him there.
No, I told you this before. When I'm tired of like stupid stuff in the off season and there's not good sports on, I turn to cooking shows because they're just nice. Chopped, guys dining, drives, diners. Dash.
Get it right, Derek. It's diners, drive-ins, and dive. Triple D.
Sorry, I don't mean to offend all the Guy Fieri fans out there.
And then Triple G, not Ganelli Ganofkin. I think that's his name. Guys,
the 3G lineup.
Grocery games.
He stole that from the thing on ABC, the grocery store sweepstakes thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same show. It's the same show.
It really is. What did they call it? Supermarket Sweep?
Supermarket Sweeps. It came back with Leslie Jones hosted it.
Yes. I'm hoping that Parts Unknown from Anthony Bourdain is going to be back on HBO because they took it off, put it on CNN Plus, then CNN Plus was gone.
Yeah.
And after like 2 weeks,
that went by fast. Jesus.
What do you know? People don't want to watch more CNN. So Parts Unknown is probably going to be back on HBO now. I hope it is. And I'm going to be diving deep into that.
Who's going to host it?
Well, nobody hosted. It's the show that Anthony Bourdain did.
No, of course, but the guy got a new host, right?
I don't think so. Parts Unknown?
Well, Anthony Bourdain has passed away. How's the show work if he's not?
Well, they don't make new episodes. I'm talking about looking at past episodes.
Oh, I see.
Like they put the entire series on HBO
Max.
Yes.
By the way, have you caught up a little bit with Winning Time?
Yes. I think, what was the last episode that I watched? I think I watched the 7th episode, not the 8th.
7th episode. What was the last thing you saw?
I don't know. To be honest, I was a little tipsy when I watched it at the end. So.
That's fair. Just real quick, I know we talked about it last episode that Jerry West wants an apology. I think I got the actual statement out here. I'll read it real quick.
Oh, the one from HBO?
Yeah, hang on. I said it to my dad because he's all about the Jerry West thing.
Yeah.
HBO said, HBO has a long history of producing compelling content drawn from actual facts and events that are fictionalized in part for dramatic purposes. Winning Time is not a documentary and has not been presented as such. However, the series and its depictions are based on extensive factual research and reliable sourcing, and HBO stands behind are talented creators and cast who have brought a dramatization of this epic chapter in basketball history to the screen. In translation, sorry, Jerry, not sorry. We're not doing anything about it.
I know, man.
I feel
It's,
bad for Jerry.
I know you got to respect the elders and these guys. They're legends, but maybe there's also a sense of truth into what they're seeing, and people hate the truth about
That's true.
themselves.
And I
when it-
will say, they are making Pat Riley a lot more cooler in the recent episodes. So he's kind of developing into his own.
Yeah, they. I actually think I do remember the last episode. It was when Paul Westhead is. He's not ready to call a timeout or something like that, and Pat Riley sees it from the broadcast booth and says, like, "Hey, this is what you need to do," and basically
Okay.
tells him how to coach.
Has Pat Riley joined him yet as a coach?
No, not yet.
Okay. All right. Watch that
Not yet.
episode and let me know what you think of the scene when it's revealed he's figured out his hairstyle.
Oh, okay. Very excited for that one.
It's a little funny. It's a little funny.
Adrian Brody, what is he? HBO's new superstar. He was just in Succession for a couple episodes.
I need to watch that show. I need to watch that show.
Yeah, Jesse and I, we're finally starting to catch up on some. We finished Euphoria. We finished the second season.
Is that show
which
good?
it turned out to be really good. Oh, it's
Okay.
it's beautifully shot, dude. Like
Okay.
visually, it's cinematic.
I just hear the drug use on that show is just way over the top for high schoolers.
The drug use? I don't know. Say
Yeah.
it's a drug use. I'd say it's the type of sex that they're having. It's just like Jesus. You know what I mean? Like we think like Winning Time. It's we always kind of look at it as a realistic depiction, even though it might not be. Euphoria is like a realistic depiction of LA in high school to me. Like
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but like it's very over the top.
Yeah.
But it's so well shot. The music. There was this. Zendaya was fantastic in the second season. I kind of overlooked her as an actress. I just thought she was popular because it's Zendaya rather.
Mhm.
But she's damn good in that show. She was awesome in the back half of the second season when she got her shine. So a lot happened, but Winning Time, Succession, we're catching back up on, and finish Euphoria. So there you go. There's my TV update.
Have you seen the new episode of Barry?
No,
Oh yeah,
I haven't.
it's great.
Dude, I don't even think I finished the second season.
Oh, dude, watch the second season of Barry. Barry
I got
might
caught
be
up.
the best show on TV.
Oh, it's fantastic. I got
I
caught
love
up.
Bill
And then
Bill
like
Bill
this-
Hader is amazing on it. So is Henry Winkler.
Mm.
Everybody on that show.
Yeah, and the guy who plays the what is he? Where's he from? The bald guy?
Oh, they're Russian.
Isn't he like Chechnyan?
Yeah, Chet. Yeah, that's right. No Ho Hank. He lives in North Hollywood. But he's not actually checking in real life. So he does an accent.
You seen Better Call Saul?
I have, and while I keep up with the show, it is incredibly slow. But I am intrigued just because I'm a huge Breaking Bad fan. That I want to see how it ends.
That's where I was at. I watched it and I'm like, it's not like I dislike the show. But as I was watching it, I'm just like, damn, when is something gonna happen? And it wasn't
Yeah.
like I needed to get like when I had some free time. I never thought like, oh, I need to get to my TV screen to watch Better Call Saul, but
Right.
maybe I do. And then you got the new season of Atlanta. I mean, damn,
There's a lot of good
TV
shows
right
out right now. A lot
Yeah,
of good
man.
TV. Real quick, did you see the Nicolas Cage movie yet?
No,
Okay.
not yet. Just Everything Everywhere All at Once is all I've seen.
Oh, what'd you think of that?
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
It was so
was,
good.
Was your brain fried after you saw it?
No, I wouldn't say so. I'd
mine
say
was.
I was just like, what the hell is going on? But my
Yeah.
brain wasn't fried. I thought it was really good. I thought it was super original. And then when I learned that the guy who was the co-star of it,
Ozark too. Ozark.
yeah, Ozark. Shout out to Ernie, just naming all the TV shows right now. But when I found out that it was the dude from
Turned down for what?
Indiana Jones.
Oh, short round.
Yeah, when I found out it was him, I got super excited. I was like, "No way, he was
Yeah.
awesome in that."
Just like first movie in 30 years or something.
Yeah, it was great. Then
No,
the scenes with the hot dogs as fingers, that was weird.
It was weird. It's a weird movie in the same kind of vein of Sorry to Bother You when we went to go see that.
Not nearly as weird to me.
You don't think so?
Because Sorry to Bother You was so non-linear. Like, at least
Yeah.
Everything Everywhere All at Once, like it had like a plot and you understood where they were going with it. Sorry to Bother You just took a turn that nobody expected.
Yeah, that movie definitely takes a turn. That movie takes a turn.
Hey, this dude's a telemarketer and now there's
Horse
bull
people?
dicks everywhere. Like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah. It's a good movie though, but yeah, Everything Everywhere All at Once was very original. I still don't understand some of the movie, but it was really well done. The Nicolas Cage movie,
What part did you understand?
like different time portals and things, and like you in a different life. It's very. I mean, I understood it, but there are times where I'm just like, wait, where are we right now? Like the rocks at one point. Like, it's a great movie. It's very well done. It's original. I appreciate everything for that. But yeah, it was also kind of a little too weird for me at times. But overall, I enjoyed it. It was a fun time. Nicolas Cage movie, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, fun and moments, but I would say overall a little disappointing. Yeah.
Why is that?
Just because it could have been so much more, and they do some really, really funny stuff. Really funny stuff. It kind of reminds me of a little bit of a mix of Birdman, This Is the End, and The Interview. I felt like at times this could have been like a Seth Rogen script because it was very meta with, him playing himself. But there's things in the movie that they could have done a lot better. But overall, it's a fun time at the movies.
Did they end up finding the Declaration of Independence?
You'll have to wait for that in National Treasure 3.
Yeah. Did you know Benjamin Franklin invented the bifocals? That's my Nicolas Cage. That's my Nicolas Cage.
It's all right. Anyway, I think people are ready to go watch the Warrior game, and so are we. We'll be back tomorrow to review it, and if there's a Deebo Samuel trade, we will talk about that as well. Steven, say what you always say, my man.
That's just our opinion.